Today, we're cracking open a book that for centuries was, well, basically lost to the Western world. It's a text that's just jam-packed with cosmic secrets, rebellious angels, and a history of the entire world told through animals. Yep, you heard that right. This is the Book of Enoch. So let's just dive right in with a big question. What if one of the most foundational, dramatic, and just flat-out visionary books of the Bible was simply left out? What would we have missed? Because, without it, we'd be missing the entire backstory to the Great Flood, the real origin of evil, and a breathtaking tour of both heaven and hell. So here's our journey for this explainer. We're going to walk through the grand story of Enoch. We'll start with why it vanished, then get into the celestial crime that corrupted the whole world. After that, we'll follow Enoch on his absolutely wild cosmic tour, decode a really strange animal prophecy, and finally witness the ultimate judgment of all creation. Okay, so who is this guy, Enoch? The Bible gives him a quick mention as Noah's great-grandfather, but what makes him so unique is that he was so righteous, so good, that, get this, he never actually died. Instead, he was taken directly into heaven to walk with God, becoming a kind of divine scribe and messenger. And this book? Well, it's his eyewitness account. All right, now we get to the real drama. The book doesn't open on Earth. No, it opens in heaven with a full-blown conspiracy among a group of angels that are known as the Watchers. They looked down and saw the daughters of men on earth and were just overcome with lust, deciding to completely abandon their heavenly duties for earthly pleasure. And this quote right here, it shows you that their rebellion was totally premeditated. This wasn't some momentary lapse in judgment. This was a pact. They bound themselves together with a mutual curse, sealing not only their own fate, but the fate of the world below. And the scale of this rebellion was just staggering. We're talking 200 of these celestial beings, led by their chief, Samjaza. They all descended onto Mount Hermon, a name that literally means Mount of the Oath, by the way, to carry out their forbidden plan. But their crime went way beyond just taking human wives. They also started teaching humanity all this forbidden knowledge. Take the angel Azazel, for example. He didn't just teach the art of war with swords and shields, he also introduced vanity to the world through things like makeup and jewelry. Others brought sorcery and astrology, corrupting humanity and pushing it toward violence. And the result of this unholy union? Well, you get the Nephilim. You might recognize that name from the book of Genesis, but Enoch gives us the full, terrifying story. These monstrous giants weren't just big, they were a force of pure destruction, basically a plague upon the earth. The book describes them with this insatiable hunger and a truly colossal size. 3,000 ells is an ancient measurement, but it implies they were giants on a scale that's hard to even imagine. They ate all of humanity's food, and when that wasn't enough, they literally turned on humanity itself, devouring people and filling the world with bloodshed. The earth itself, the text says, cried out because of the injustice. It's at this point, with the world in total chaos, that God calls upon Enoch. He is chosen to be the messenger of judgment, first to those fallen watchers, and then to all of creation. And to do this, he's given a tour of the entire cosmos, a series of visions that no other mortal had ever seen before. And what happens next is this whirlwind journey through the very mechanics of the universe, and he sees things that just defy all human comprehension. I mean, he witnesses the very architecture of reality, the actual pillars that hold up the sky, the winds that turn the heavens, the storehouses for snow and hail and rain. He sees creation not as some big mystery, but as a divinely ordered machine. But it's not all beautiful cosmic machinery. He also sees places of punishment, and this terrifying vision here, it's of a celestial prison. The angel Uriel explains to him that these 7 burning stars are actually angels who disobeyed God's command. It's a terrifying message. Even beings from heaven are subject to divine law. And then, ultimately, Enoch is brought before the very throne of God. The sight is so overwhelming he can barely describe it. A house made of crystal and fire, surrounded by an uncountable host of angels who never, ever sleep. No mortal had ever been granted an audience like this. And it's here that he receives the final message of judgment for the Watchers. Okay, so this next part is maybe one of the strangest and most fascinating visions in the whole book. Enoch sees the entire history of the world, from Adam and Eve all the way to the final judgment, play out as this symbolic drama featuring animals.
This is known as the animal apocalypse, and it's a stunning piece of prophetic storytelling.
The key to the whole thing is symbolism, right? The righteous are shown as domestic animals, like sheep, while their enemies are beasts of prey, like wolves. And it charts history from Adam, who's a white bull, through the building of the temple, which is a great house for the sheep, all the way to a final judgment where a messianic figure is born. And all of this history, all this prophecy, it's all leading to one single event, the final great reckoning. This is where the accounts are settled, where the corruption started by the Watchers is finally and completely purged from creation for good.
And the judgment follows a very specific order. You see, justice begins at the source of the corruption. The Watchers and their leader, Azazel, they're judged first. They are bound and cast into a fiery abyss forever. Only after the celestial criminals are dealt with does the judgment turn to humanity, separating the sinners from the righteous.
And the contrast between the two final destinies could not be more stark. For the righteous, there is peace, light, and everlasting life. They will inherit the earth, and their joy will be eternal. But for the sinners, there is only a great curse. They're removed from the face of the earth, their home becomes darkness, and their souls are left in torment. But the story doesn't end with punishment. It ends with restoration. The old corrupted world is rolled up, and a new perfect one is created. A larger, higher house is built by God for his people. They are given garments of life that never fade, and God himself comes to dwell among them forever. The original cosmic order is finally restored.
The Book of Enoch provides this powerful, dramatic vision that really fills in so many gaps. Its ideas about fallen angels, the Messiah, a final judgment, they clearly influenced later Jewish and Christian thought. So it leaves us with this fascinating question. If this much detail and drama was packed into just one lost book, what other stories, what other cosmic secrets are still waiting to be rediscovered in the text that just didn't make the final cut?